Hi everybody, Michaela Kennedy here with a Mad Motivation Monday. And yes, it's very mad because I have my buddy, my adopted parrot here. He was a rescue and he's so happy to have to be a part of it all that I thought nobody would mind. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, don't try this at home. It's very dangerous to have a parrot. Parrots are wild animals. I do not encourage them as pets. But it's part of my work and part of my calling that I work with wild animals. And he and I just happen to have a very special relationship. He will probably outlive me. Don't think about him as a pet. Okay? Anyway, I have got my very dear friend with us today, Jennifer Nearance. She is a specialist in helping people to unblock their emotional blocks, as it were.
Yep.
And Jennifer, I'm so happy to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's an honor. We've talked about this a lot, and it's nice to finally put it together and have an opportunity to talk and share.
I just want to say that when Jennifer and I met on the Marketers Cruise last year, when we went down to the Caribbean with 470 marketers from all over the world. It was a most fantastic experience. But the one thing that sticks out in my mind was meeting Jennifer, because we are like minds. We understand that business and work or whatever it is that we do in life has a higher calling. And when we meet with our passion, that's when we really glow and become successful. Isn't that right, Jennifer?
That is absolutely correct. I couldn't have put it better. And it's funny how once we find that, even though it may make us feel like everything's alive and we start moving towards that, we still keep finding things that are stopping us. We know we're on the right path. We know we're doing the right thing, but we still keep finding things that are not things aren't moving the way that we feel that they could. And in that place, it's a great opportunity to stop and take a look. It's like, okay, so I found my calling. I'm really passionate about what I'm doing. Why am I still struggling? And people are amazed when we talk and realize that the things that are going on are all things that are going on in our subconscious mind that we're not consciously aware of, until our buttons get pushed and we start having some discord, and it shows up in our bodies. Shows up in illness, shows up in not being able to sleep, shows up in turning around and biting someone's head off for no good reason.
I know that one pretty well.
Oh my God.
we all know that one very well, don't we?
Yeah. And that's the thing, is we all go through it. The thing is what do we do with it? And it gets into areas that people don't like to talk about. But the only way that I'm aware of to get things to shift is to actually make peace with that darker part of ourselves. Darker meaning the things that we as a society are told not to talk about. And it's fascinating what happens.
It's absolutely true, because so many of us, like people that have gone through therapy, or they have counselors that help them through stuff, or they do energy work or whatever it is, they say, oh, well, I already cleared that. Oh. Well, we never clear it, and even though we become aware of it, it doesn't mean that we have let it go completely. And then people get frustrated and they say, oh, no, not that again. I thought I had done with that, but it's back again.
It's another layer of an onion.
Yes, exactly. Like it can come back in a new relationship, it can come back in a new job, and it's the same theme, but it's a different setting.
Exactly. And it's hard to draw, but it's like this, where this is your starting point, and each time you go around, you go up a little bit higher, and you may be dealing with the same thing, but just at a slightly different point. So this point on the axis is fear about public speaking. we make progress, and then bam, we're back here having to speak in public, and we hit with another wave of, oh my God, I can't do this. But if you'll notice on the finger graph here, you are significantly higher than where you were before. It may look like the same thing, but it's not. It's got a different flavor, it's got a different intensity, it's got a different topic, it's got a different memory hook.
Yeah.
They look and feel the same until you start peeling it away. And, you know, I love Shrek because, no, it's not a parfait. It's not sweet and tasty and yummy and everybody likes it. It's an onion. And it's a different layer. And it stinks and you're going to cry. And you get to the heart of the matter. And then you can go, oh, my sinuses are clear. I can breathe again. You know, it is really a very liberating experience.
We go through these cycles, and we need to acknowledge those cycles and realize that the pendulum does swing, that things do get better, and that you know, all of us as humans, we grab onto the absolute and we think things are bad. As I told you a little earlier, just this morning I heard about a fellow that I know that committed suicide, and last year, in the last 4 years, I know 3 different people who have committed suicide. And I think, you know, if only somebody had said, you know, if only they had realized that nothing is absolute, things change. I don't want to steal your thunder here, but you just reminded me of a story about Henry Fonda. I bet a lot of people who watch this don't know who Henry Fonda is, but he was an old, famous movie actor. And when he was older, he did a movie with Jeff Bridges. And Jeff Bridges almost did not go into movies because he was so afraid of public speaking, so afraid of getting in front of an audience, and he would be a nervous wreck. And he said, you know, this isn't for me. I can't do it. I'm not a natural. But then he did this. He was talked into doing this movie with a bunch of veterans, and he saw Henry Fonda going in, breaking into a sweat, wiping his hands and everything else. And he said, well, what's the matter? He said, oh, I just get so nervous every time we do a shoot. And here was this old guy that had spent decades doing, you know, this was his life work. And we think people are natural, but, you know, we do. We have to dig deep and we have to pull it out. And we have to throw ourselves out of the comfort zone.
Yes. And yes. And to play on, play with that, build on, whatever. 3 years ago, I was just looking at my fear of being seen. My name is very unusual. There is like one main family with that name. I am, to my knowledge, the only Jennifer Nearance on the face of the planet.
Wow.
So for me to go out and be on video and say my name was a huge fear of mine because at my core, it was not safe to be seen. It was not safe to bring attention to myself. Why?
Wow.
Stuff back from when I was a little itty-bitty girl that I don't have conscious memory of, but my body remembers. My fear responses in my brain tell me not safe, hide. And I can remember I was giving a video testimonial for a gentleman that I was working with, and I was going to sit and give the video testimonial, and he says, okay, so what's your name? It's like, no, you can't have my name. I'm not gonna, and I stormed off. And people were watching me going, Jennifer, we've never seen you act like this. You were like a caged animal. So I get, yeah. And that was my clue, that it was deeper than I realized. So I spent a good 1 year deep in that swamp on being safe, being who I am. As a result, that little side trip has shown me just how intrinsically involved with my belief system certain things can be. And I know that I'm not alone. And in searching out answers for what I was facing, because I had to get in front of the video camera, I had to say my name. If I wanted my business to grow, I had to do these things. Or I could hide behind, holistic healing. I could hide behind, you know, the academy. I could do all these things, but that wasn't honoring to who I was, because I was those things. I couldn't hide behind them. I could have, but it wasn't, again, it wasn't honoring. So in my searching to figure out, why is this holding me back? Why can't I do this? I mean, physically, I could not do this. I think I would have hurt someone if they would have gotten my way, because it was such a visceral, oh my God, get me out of here. And then I looked at that going, oh, no wonder. I've gone to class after class after class after class, create videos, how to make videos, how to have your own YouTube channel, and I couldn't do it. This is why. In the course of figuring out all of my
This is very common. This is a very common thing. I have lost clients because they absolutely refuse to get in front of the camera. They absolutely refuse to put themselves out there, and they think that they can just throw their stuff out there and the customers will come. Or they want to, they think that and you know, the way the search engines work now is you can't, it's very, very difficult to have a pseudonym or to hide behind a persona anymore. You know, you need to be trusted. You need to be trusted. You need to be able to it's conversational era that we're in now, and most people, this is where a lot of people are failing. It's very, very deep seated.
It is. And not to go all woo-woo or energetic on you, but I'm going to go woo-woo and energetic on you. It's based on my first and second chakra. Everybody likes to think about, you know, think positive. And please, please, please hear what I'm saying. I am not bashing this. I am saying that there is a balance. You have to do both. You cannot pick and choose. You cannot only work on the upper stuff, the light and fluffy, and oh God, I feel so good, and expect things to move forward. You will reach a point where you're going to have to look in the mirror. And the mirror might not be as pretty as you want it to be. And that's what is. Okay, I'm going to set that one aside for a moment.
Well, wait a minute. I just want to comment on it because you just reminded me of something. Years ago, I lived in, I don't know if you know who Jay Bernstein is. He was a famous producer. He made many stars. He was a star maker. And he was the manager of a boyfriend that I had back in the 80s. And I remember talking to him on the telephone one time, and there was a problem with this man. And Jay said to me, he said, I really have to talk to him because we have to face our demons. In order to be successful, we have to face our demons and we have to embrace our demons.
Yes, because
that's exactly what you're saying.
Yes, because there is, and I am very emotional about this. This one is so near and dear to my heart because people, so many good people have been lost in that battle because it's not okay to admit. There are very few people who know how to help with this because it's dark. If you haven't faced your own stuff, how can you help someone else? You can't. You simply can't. And it doesn't matter how well-meaning you are. If you don't know how to get down to the bottom of the swamp and back, I'm not going there with you. I am not going to open the door to my deepest, darkest closets if you can't bring me back. Why in the hell would I do that? I'm sorry. I am
no, this is wonderful. It's wonderful. It's, you know, if we can't show our own vulnerability, how can we help others?
Oh, and that's, you know? There have been very few people that I have found who are willing to go to the bottom of my swamp with me. Most of the time, I've got to do my own work, and I'm fine with that. The thing is that I can help other people do that because I've walked it. I know what that path is. I know how dark and scary it is. And I also know how to get back out. I also
Yeah,
know
it
that.
takes discipline, and as Buddha said, you you recognize it when it comes, and then you apply the antidote. And it
Hmm.
doesn't mean that you stop doing something and then you change, because it's a cycle. It's a cycle with our time management. It's a cycle with our emotions, and
Yes.
it's a matter of being having the awareness and
Hmm.
recognizing it, and then understanding what the antidote is to get yourself out of the swamp, as it were.
Yeah. And learning to ask questions again. As adults, we forget how to ask questions. I find it so fascinating. The main question is why? Because I have people, we'll go in and we'll start digging around at stuff. Well, yeah, that's what I believe. Why do you believe that? Well, I don't know. I just always have. Okay, does it still serve you? Well, what do you mean? Why do you believe that? Why is that truth for you? I said, well, I don't know. I've never thought about that. Exactly.
That's a
So,
real tough one, Jennifer. People don't want to be questioned on their belief systems because they typically don't have the answer. And
yes.
I think that's what makes us, because I haven't known you very long. I've known you for about a
Hmm.
year, but I
Hmm.
know that since I was a little girl, I have always questioned things, and I've got actually was punished for it.
Yes. Yes. So we forget, we stop asking questions because it's not safe.
Right.
As
So I have a question for you.
great.
How has going deep in going into and pulling out those demons, as it were,
Uh-huh.
and then coming back out of the mud, how has that served you in your
Oh,
business?
oh my God. I'm here talking with you. I launched my own website under my name. I have probably 80 videos either out and available on YouTube or soon to be released. I am creating new client relationships every day. The business has gone international, and I am more motivated.
Woohoo!
I know. I am
Hmm.
more motivated and excited than ever before to do what I am so passionate about. People don't have to live with this stuff. It's okay to ask questions now. And I have spent many years battling with being out there, with not only getting my name out there, but in being kind of in the outer fringes. Because, this is stuff people don't want to talk about in public, and don't tell people that you're actually working on this stuff. But after the meeting is over, the number of calls I get, the number of conversations that come up, people are hurting so badly, and they need a safe place to walk through their stuff. I can't be quiet anymore. It's not possible. I've tried. I can't. And as a result, the work that I'm doing is getting more powerful. And I have to share this with you. I had a new client yesterday, and I'm not going to give any details other than just the surface level stuff here. We had less, I go by session, I don't go by time, because that's another limiting belief that a lot of us have. It's by session. We spent less than 15 minutes together. They were done emotionally, physically, energetically. They were finished. That was all they could handle for that day. I got a response this morning after that 15-minute session. They slept like a rock for the first time in, quote, God knows how long.
I love it. I love it.
How do you put
Yeah.
a dollar value
Yeah.
on a good night's sleep? And that
Yeah.
was just
Exactly.
one night from a
Yeah.
15-minute session. I mean, this
Awesome.
stuff is incredibly powerful.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So, and we talked briefly before this started about people being really frustrated at the snow. For us, oh God, the kids were gone. I went and had to pick up the kids at noon on Thursday. They didn't have school on Friday. They've been housebound all weekend. They don't have school today. And we are
Wow, you
truly...
got plowed. I thought we had it bad. We've had more snow days this year than I don't know when.
Yeah, yeah. But talk about being insulated and isolated and having to look. We are being given an incredible opportunity to look, to feel, to stop with the franticness and to actually sit with ourselves. Some people are finding, you know, I need to make some adjustments. Other people are finding panic and terror. Other people are finding ways to move forward. But I guess the message for everybody in this time of insulation is taking time to write what it is that you're seeing and feeling, and like put those feelings and thoughts into a book so that they're outside of you, so you can look at them without having to live and wear them. Once you can start to separate the two, you can start to look at things from, because, well, I can't give you my mouse because then things will look really weird. I'll give you this block. This is my little carrier for USB keys. So I'm feeling very frustrated that I keep running into technical difficulties. So I'm going to write it down. I'm going to set it in this book. Now I can look at it and look at it from all different angles and find out that, oh, wait a minute, here, there's a zipper, there's an opening, there's an answer or a possible solution in here that I didn't see when it was part of me because I couldn't look at the whole thing. The same is true with our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions and our blocks and our fears and our joys and our aspirations and our greatest longings. Those things, if we can get them out of ourselves and write them down, we can take a look at them from all sorts of different angles and start poking at them and prodding at them and asking questions. And there is an unbelievable wealth of information about ourselves, about what drives us in these questions, concerns, and thoughts, that once we get them outside of ourselves, we can really take a closer look at them and we can stop being them and realize that they are just part of us. We are not them.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
That's brilliant. So I have a question for you.
What's that?
What is the next step? There are going to be people that will be watching this, that will be hearing about what we've been through and how we have dealt with things over the years. So what is the next step? Do they contact you? Do you have any other information to share? I've got a lot of information on my site, and right at this moment I'm in between classes, and I'm actually traveling to Australia in March to do some recording and some interviewing for a class that I'm putting together in April. But what I wanted to offer to your listeners and to those that see this broadcast is, if you would send me an email and tell me what it is that is your number one block, fear, concern, question, whatever it is that you are struggling with that you can't seem to get past. If you will write that down to me and let me know where to respond, I will send you a tool that will help you, and it will be personalized to you. Now, this is something I normally charge about $250 for, because it goes into depth, and this is something that you become, this is yours. It is personalized. It is totally about you and what I get from what you've written, bringing in my knowledge of the chakras, bringing in my knowledge of emotional freedom technique or meridian tapping, bringing in all of my knowledge from all of the other medical intuitives that I have learned from, and creating that personalized tool for you. Now, the best email to reach me at is through my website, and it's support@jennifernearance.com. And I know the name is very odd, and I will include a link in there in the chat box or in the
about us, whatever it is on the Google Hangout thing. Yes, I am technically minded, can you tell? But there are times when it just goes right out the window, and that's okay. And I thought about this for a while as soon as we started talking about it, and I thought, well, I should create a page for them, and then I thought, you know what? We're just going to keep it real. We're going to keep it, you know what? This is me. This is what I have to offer you. If you're serious about it, send me an email, tell me what you need. I'll be happy to help you. Did we lose you?
What I'm doing, no, you didn't lose me. I was just, actually, I started to add, you see how I just added my lower thing right there? I didn't mean to, I must have hit the automatic and it came up. But what I wanted to do was add one that what I'll do is you can do this, and why don't you do it by adding, you know what, you might not, if you haven't added this app yet, then you won't be able to do it. But what I'll do is I'll add it, and I'll put your email address in there, support@jenniferneerant.com.
Yeah.
Basically, though, it's an easy way for people to see. If you could just chat for a minute while I do this.
Okay, gladly. And I am, for anybody who contacts me with a question, I also have another offer to provide to them, that I have space right now for 4 more clients. And that's it, because I'm planning this really big class in April. But for those who this has really resonated with and who reach out and take action and send me an email and find that we can actually work together, that they're going to get this tool, if they use it and find that it's really working for them, I would like to offer one of those 4 spots to work with me. And the thing is that it takes a 3-month commitment, because as much as and as fast as this works, you're going to find that you start with one thing. And once it's moved out of the way, you're going to realize that there are a couple of others back there. And it would not be honoring to you, to your listeners, to offer something that was a one-off. I cannot do that because it's not right. So I am open, like I said, I will be opening it up for 4 additional people, but it requires a 3-month commitment. And I'm not going to share a bunch of the details because I need to take action first. I need to get that email with the question so that I know that they're serious about really looking at their stuff. And then I'll create the tool for them after they've used it. Then we'll take the conversation to the next level. Yes? I didn't hear you.
I also find it's important to find that you're a perfect match with the person too.
Yes.
And that's what's great about what you're offering. You can send them back an analysis or advice or whatever it is that that you've just offered. I just want to remind anybody who is watching this that here it is right here. I am not Jennifer. I am Michaela. But Jennifer is the one. Jennifer is the one who is making this offer. So send Jennifer I wrote a lot more than that. I wrote questions or blocks or whatever. So it shouldn't just say send Jennifer your. But anyway, it does. Yeah, learning about technology, right? Yes. But it does. Did I spell it right? Support at jenniferneerant.com. Is that correct?
I can't see it. It's in little bitty tiny print. So it's just support at JENNIFER.
Do you have me in the blue room?
What?
Because. Do you have me in the blue room? Do you know what the blue room is?
I have no clue.
This is my blue box. On Google, when you do a Google video chat or a Google Hangout, you can arrange it so that you are always looking at the same screen. Right now, both of us are going back and forth.
Cool.
When I talk, I see my big picture on the big screen, and when you talk, I see you on the big screen.
Cool.
But what are you seeing?
Me. And then I've got you in a little box down at the bottom.
You have me in a little blue box. That's why you can't read it. Click on me once.
click on you.
Yeah, click on me.
Oh,
Now when
okay.
I talk, see how I get big?
Yes.
Yeah, I get, and now I'm in the screen. So
Support.
now can you read it? Can you,
Okay,
does it say
hold
support at
on.
jenniferneerance.com?
Yep.
There we go. Yes. Okay,
Very
good,
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. We get caught up between the technical. This is another thing is that and we were talking about absolutes earlier. Technical glitches happen, and they happen
Yeah.
constantly, and they happen to the biggest, most successful millionaires. Everybody has the problems. We
Yes.
can't take them personally. I think a lot of people starting out. As you say, even something like, for example, we got started late. Now, that would have totally emotionally destroyed a lot of people. They would have
Yes.
gotten angry because it started. They would have given up. They would have just said, forget it, we can't do it.
Yep.
And but you just have to acknowledge it and realize what it is. And the emotions, they're triggers, and they're triggers that we can recognize and then move on with.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And I have a question for you. Now, because we've talked about this, you know that one of the major tools that I use is EFT, or Emotional Freedom Technique, or it's called meridian tapping, because I don't follow exactly EFT standards. Would you be open to doing some tapping on this? Or do you want to keep it generic?
That's up to you. If you'd like to show our viewers how it works, sure.
Okay. So let's see. Topic. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce tapping as I do it. And it's going to seem a little strange, and that's okay. I'm all right with that because I've seen it work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what the spots are right now, and then I'm going to lead you through a real quick tapping exercise. Okay? This is called the karate chop, and it is the fleshy part of the flat. Yeah, exactly. Ha! And when you do tapping, it's 2 or 3 fingers. Enough pressure, yes, so that you can feel it, but you're not trying to hurt yourself. Okay? And I've heard it said
I'm supposed to be tapping the karate chop, not karate chopping me.
Well, you could if you do it fast enough. Now, I'm just going to show you where the tapping points are, because I think you may have a few people who are watching this that don't know, that aren't aware. So, top of the head, the inner eyebrow point, outside of the eye on the bony ridge, underneath the eye, again on the bony ridge, under the nose, that chin divot, collarbone. So you go to the V and go 1 inch up on either side. And what is called the thalamus thump. It's like in the center of your breastplate. Oh, did you find a sore spot,
I
Michaela?
found something, yes.
Oh, yes. Now, are you on your collarbone, or are you below it?
I'm below it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
In fact, it goes really deep. It strikes right down to my heart.
Yes. Yes. So, collarbone, because the other one will release too much too quickly. So, up on your collarbone, okay?
Okay.
So then the thalamus thump, let's see if you can see it. Yeah, center. And then the other place is underneath your arm. So if you lift one arm up and you take your other arm and fling it across your chest, then where your fingers hit underneath your arm, middle of the bra strap for women, just middle of your armpit for guys, that's right there. What's the other tapping point? So I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah. Hey.
Are you ticklish?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do some tapping on
Yeah,
Being open.
I can't believe that. You know, I know I can't let anybody touch me under the arms, and I actually tickling myself. That's kind of scary.
Oh, that's funny. And, but that brings up a really good point. If there is a spot that is not, if there is a spot in those tappings that really is uncomfortable for you, for now, skip it. It's okay. There's no wrong way to do it other than not doing it. Okay? There's huge freedom in this. Okay? So if that's uncomfortable for you, don't do it. Just use one of the other spots instead. Okay?
Okay.
So just repeat after me. I'll pause. I'll say something. I'll pause, and then you repeat it. And for those that are watching the broadcast or listening to the replay, it's really important to verbalize, because energetically, this is your fifth chakra. This is what you manifest from, through, out, with. Our voice is incredibly powerful. Okay. Even though I have no idea what she's doing,
I have no idea what she's doing,
I'm open to trying something new.
I'm open to trying something new.
Because I know
You went, oh, I didn't hear it. Can you say it again?
because I know
Because I know
that something's got to shift.
that something's got to shift.
And I deeply and completely
And I deeply and completely
love, honor, and respect myself.
love, honor, and respect myself.
Even though I have no idea what she's doing.
I have no idea what she's doing.
And it really actually looks kind of silly.
It does. It looks really silly. It looks kind of silly.
I'm feeling kind of like an idiot for trusting her.
I'm feeling kind of like an idiot for trusting her.
I'm open to something new.
I'm open to something new.
Because I know things have got to shift.
Because I know things have got to shift.
And I deeply and completely love, honor, and respect myself.
Love, honor, and respect myself.
Even though
this
is totally crazy.
This is totally crazy.
I mean, really.
I mean, really.
But I am open to trying something new.
But I am open to trying something new.
Because things do have to shift.
Because things do have to shift.
And I deeply and completely
love,
honor, and respect myself.
Love, honor, and respect myself.
Okay, so now we're going to just tap through the points, the top of the head. Here I am.
Here I am.
Inside of the eye. Following this stranger.
Following this stranger.
Outside of the eye. Wondering what in the world I'm doing.
Wondering what in the world I'm doing.
Under the eye. This can't do anything positive.
This can't do anything positive.
Nose. Maybe even possibly something negative?
Maybe even possibly something negative.
Chin. But even that doesn't feel right.
But even that doesn't feel right.
Collarbone. Because I can feel my body responding to this.
Because I can feel my body responding to this.
Chest plate. There's a relaxing.
There's a relaxing.
Under the arm. There's a hopefulness.
There's a hopefulness and tickling.
Laughter is good.
Laughter is good.
Wow, I didn't think it was possible.
Wow, I didn't think it was possible.
Outside of the eye. I'm feeling all sorts of weird things in my body right now.
I'm feeling all sorts of weird things in my body right now.
Under the eye. How can those be related to my business blocks?
How can those be related to my business blocks?
Under the nose. I don't know.
I don't know.
Under the chin. But I'm open to finding out more.
But I'm open to finding out more.
I'm open to honoring how I feel.
I'm open to honoring how I feel.
Chest. Oh boy, that's an odd thing to say.
That's an odd thing to say.
Under the arm. Aren't I supposed to keep my thoughts to myself?
I'm supposed to keep my thoughts to myself.
Top of the head. And some of those thoughts are pretty dark.
And some of those thoughts are pretty dark.
Corner of the eyes. I don't even like to admit them to myself.
I don't even like to admit them to myself.
Outside the eye. So how is she able to see that?
How is she able to see that?
Under the eye. I don't feel right about that.
I don't feel right about that.
Under the nose. That makes me really uncomfortable.
That makes me really uncomfortable.
Chin spot. What else can she see about me?
What else can she see about me?
I mean, is she judging me?
I mean, is she judging me?
Chest. Or maybe is it possible I'm just judging myself?
Or maybe it's possible I'm just judging myself.
Under the arm. Whatever the reason.
Whatever the reason.
Top of the head. I'm following along.
I'm following along.
And I'm feeling things release.
And I'm feeling things release.
Outside of the eye. I don't have to identify them.
I don't have to identify them.
Under the eye. I don't have to label them.
I don't have to label them.
Under the nose. I can just be grateful.
I can just be grateful.
Chin. That I can breathe easier now.
That I can breathe easier now.
Take a deep breath. Breathe out. Yes, that is a huge deal. That is a huge deal.
I feel like I just got a massage.
Cool.
I guess I did in a way.
And you don't even know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I mean, that is the basic tapping routine that we go through. And it's amazing what it releases. I will suggest to everybody that is listening to this, either live or in the rebroadcast, you drink lots of water. Our bodies are electric, they're energetic, the water will flush it, it'll refill our batteries. Very, 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 very important. Okay, that ends this public service announcement.
I was thinking about that. I was really getting that feeling of, like after massage, you need to drink a lot and really clear it through. I was getting that feeling. In fact, I don't know if I got this, but I do kind of wish that I had said this before. But for those that are watching the replay, they can go back, they can rewind and start all over again if they want. And I'm sure I will too. I think I'm going to go through this too, is to do it along with us. Because it was powerful. I feel good. I feel a little bit, something's cleared. I really don't know what it is, but I know that I just want to drop everything and go out for a walk and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day.
Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, and that's a brilliant, brilliant message, and I appreciate you sharing it. Yes, rewind it. If people are left agitated, go through it again. Go through it again. It means it stirred up something that's ready to go. It's ready to be released. Keep tapping on it, and it will break, it will release, and it'll be gone. And, excuse me, it's not, and that's another thing, interestingly enough, shifts in energy, yawning, burping, eye twitches, all these are signs of things shifting in your body. It's just bizarro when you start getting into it.
I want to tell you something kind of funny, though, and it was something that was going through my head as we were going through it. is I was having a little bit of trouble. I kept bringing, because I'm a meditator, and because I've done so much of my own clearing, that I'm able to bring it right back to center and bring it back to present. But I did find my mind wandering to the audience, and I don't know if you can see it, but at the bottom I can see how many viewers are here. And I noticed that as we started to really get into it, that the viewership started dropping off. I saw some people come in and then they would leave right away, as though and I was thinking that, when you see something you don't understand, or that, and there's immediate judgment. There's that immediate, like, oh, this is stupid, and
it's not safe.
It's not safe, or it's not, it's not what I understand, or whatever people do, they have those knee-jerk reactions. They judge things, they prejudge, and those are big things that hold us back from business success.
Yes, and the thing is that people don't understand that's the way that we're wired. That's in our brain. That's a safety thing. But it's also a safety thing for when we're kids. As we get to be adults and have more of our capabilities of thinking and processing, we can choose to change those. But we have to choose. And those people that were there and then they left, those are the ones that can't, for whatever reason, aren't ready to do this kind of work. And that's okay. That's okay. There's a lot of resources on my website for those that aren't ready to work with me yet. Because I'll tell you, I have one client that is going to get me a pair of pink camouflage combat steel-toed boots. She goes, you take no prisoners. It's like, well, no, you're serious. If you're serious about this, you're going to, that I don't dance around the top. I'm sorry. There's millions of people that you could go work with that will only dance you to the edge. But if you're serious, I'll be more than happy to go in whatever swamp, as deep as you want to go. And once people understand that, and they realize that it's a safe place to go, I've got people asking to go places that they're like, can you help me with this? I feel a lot of shame around this. Can you help me with that? It's like, yes. There is nothing that a person can ask me that I may block.
I mean, we all carry our demons, and we all go deep, and so few people are willing. It takes discipline. It takes discipline, because it's the thing that I love about doing it energetically is that it's like that Vajra, you cut straight, it's the knife that cuts straight to the heart of things. But it also, it exposes you. You need to be ready, as you said, when you feel that pain, you need to be ready, or else, or you need to go there slowly, however way you get there. But it's still a discipline, and it is it is decades of discipline. And that's why I have the respect for you. That's why I asked you to come on today. There are so many people that they take a weekend workshop or a 6-week workshop, and suddenly they call themselves masters, and it's not like that. You can't put those kind of levels, because whether you are the student, or whether you're the teacher, or whether you're the therapist, or whether you're the person that is the client, we all want the same thing. We all want happiness. We all want safety, and we all want to be in a place where we can really be comfortable and know that our lives matter.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, we share common. I can't come up with a good description. I have struggled to share what my qualifications are, because I don't feel that I have earned some of those titles, because I've only been doing this for 20 years. I haven't spent my lifetime. I am not a master. I continue learning every day.
That's the kind of humility that people should be looking for in their teachers. If somebody tells you that they're an expert at something and they're a master, run the other way.
The thing that has gotten me into some interesting conversations is reminding people that they are their own guru.
Yes, that's very true.
There are things we
Well,
need to learn.
Jennifer, I want to thank you. We should really wrap this up. I want to be mindful
Okay.
of people's time.
Yes, thank you.
But we did keep it under an hour, which is awesome. And we got a lot accomplished. And this is great. I hope we can do more of this.
I do too. I do too. I've had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. Deep blessings to you. And
thank you.
you can contact anybody who's watching this. Please leave comments below on our YouTube channel, on our Google Plus, or find us over at Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever it is you'd like to connect with us.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you
so much, Michaela. I really appreciate your time.
Take care.
Okay.
Have a
Thanks,
good one.
you too. Bye.